So out of Yberrie or RMD, which will be our next set?
All right, and Yberrie versus RMD will lead us to the Olympia Ori matchup. And, you know, I might have a few polarizing opinions on this matchup. That being said, Olympia Ori is something that you have to play so patiently with, because if Olympia gets her hands on the rat, you can absolutely find yourself in the grave 6 feet under so fast. But as long as Ori's playing it properly, you can keep the Olympia out, you can keep her from coming back, and you can keep in advantage. Yberrie and RMD going to be opting for Jules Veil to start this off.
Actually be quite interesting because we've known Yberrie from previous qualifiers as a rather aggressive Ori, and right now going straight into it. No prisoners are going to be taken, and if that patient is needed, how is RMD going to deal with the not so patient Ori?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I've noted from Yberrie's earlier play is that Yberrie has a very strong amount of adaptation, so we might be seeing something different as the set goes on. But either way, no double jump on RMD. Very crucial edge guard, not going to be able to land it. 122 and counting for this Olympia. Ori will continue to rack up damage on her, but it's not going to amount to a kill until relatively late. And that backer going to be able to seal things out as RMD. A rough start, but like I said, you have to be patient, you have to be careful, because Olympia could turn things around at any moment if you let her in.
We're seeing an opening now from RMD, nothing quite coming off of it, but as you said, just like that, all of a sudden, RMD has a few things set up. Nearly getting the crystal off on Yberrie, which would have been a huge take.
Oh!
The up strong coming out, and the crystal set up in the middle of the stage to take some very nice stage control. What is RMD going to be able to find here? Oh, it's going to be an F-Strong, actually. F-Strong coming back onto the stage will take out will take out RMD rather early, and Yberrie still on 92% on 3 stocks.
Man, both of these players going to be opting to parry the other specials. Both of them relatively difficult specials to parry, but once you get the hang of it, something that you can do consistently. So either way, RMD going to be able to take that first stock off of Yberrie. Got to just make sure to keep calm. You're in the middle of a set, not just a single game. Whether or not you win this game, what matters is, can you break the momentum of your opponent? And RMD off stage in a lot of trouble, only has air dodge, only to be able to touch back down onto stage, and this could be big. What's the follow-up? Not going to amount to too much, but an up strong should keep Yberrie in continued disadvantage.
Yberrie just waiting on the other side of stage, and RMD putting in all the pressure right now. Crystal set up, not quite finding anything, but 101%. The rat has to fall down sooner or later. But the question is, can RMD find something before being sent into the blast zone off stage with the oppression that we're seeing from Yberrie right now at 127%?
Up strong?
Beautiful parry, and an up strong will find the stock. Will RMD be able to crawl this back?
All right, I mean, only time will tell right now. RMD's definitely making us believe, and either way, whoever wins this game, it actually doesn't matter that much, because the momentum is so heavily in RMD's favor that even if Yberrie takes this, you have to make sure to slow down the pace of the game, to really remember what are your win conditions, what is it that you're looking for, as RMD just looking to dart around this Ori, but won't be able to dart around for too much longer.
The F-Strong finding its mark, and that will be Yberrie full game 1 in a super strong showing. Threatening a 3-stock originally, but RMD a very impressive showing of just staying calm and being able to nearly crawl their way all the way back. But they might be able to show an even better showing on the rerun, but the reskin.
Yeah, I mean, either way. Going to be going over to Crystal Oasis with this Olympia. You know, Olympia's home stage, always going to be a fun one to go to. Honestly, one of my favorite reskins in the game right now. I think favorite probably has to go to High Dive Hideaway though.
Honestly, Hoden's stage is very, very nice, but we're not seeing that, unfortunately, on our screens. Maybe later. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Either way, RMD going to be having a lot more control here, opting for the charge down strong of all things. All right, gonna be trying to sneak back onto stage. Good setup for Yberrie, but not able to cover it all just yet. Still Crystallize, not overcommitting for the up B. Really solid and patient play from RMD.
I loved that fake setup for the up B just to bait the down air from Yberrie. Not quite finding the stock, but found a little bit of a punish, which honestly, Yberrie's going to be able to start thinking about that now. It's like, do I need to worry about the up B, or do I need to worry more about what's going to happen if I go against it?
Yeah, definitely something you have to be prepared for, but RMD going to be dropping that first stock, but it's definitely looking a lot better than the last game. So right now, Yberrie going to be a little bit concerned about how much control you're going to have on this game. Beautiful air dodge straight through the bashed crystal.
Just avoiding it to potentially lead to some dangerous situations off stage. And Yberrie finds yet another crystal, threatening enough for RMD to go off stage, but now at 137%, will Yberrie be able to hold on to the stock? But the truck that is Olympia's side B has come crashing down, and now we're at the same stock count, but at a much higher percent for RMD.
Yeah, I mean, very, very high percent, but we've seen RMD in this exact position before, as Yberrie able to seal things out with the Dare F Strong. Not hit falling it, but no hit fall needed when your opponent's at that high of a percent.
Absolutely. I mean, just being able to find the kill at that point is a bit of a relief before Arthritis percent is reached.
Yeah, I mean, either way, RMD just needs that one neutral win, that one way how to get in. Going to be able to parry the forward air too, but not going to be able to get the follow-up Crystallize. It's RMD in a rough position yet again. Has Yberrie off stage though, not going to be able to amount to too much of an edge guard, and commits very hard with that up B.
And unfortunately not finding its mark, Yberrie taking full advantage, building up to 117%, and now so much pressure being applied. Finding the bash though, and that will send RMD all the way off and out of game 2. Yberrie so far putting on a very, very strong showing against RMD.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of those rougher matchups that you have to be wary of as an Olympia player. But Yberrie, to his credit, is also playing this exceptionally well. Not going to be overcommitting on the edge guards, not going to be overcommitting too much in terms of neutral, but either way, going to be moving on to a character swap from RMD, going to be swapping off of the Olympia and onto the Claren, which is yet another matchup that you have to play very, very carefully with. But, you know, this could be a little bit harder for Yberrie to get in outside of whip punishing.
I don't actually recall ever seeing RMD play Claren in a tournament match.
Well, here we are today.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise. I'm trying to remember. Is there any time? But no, we might be seeing it first time exclusive here. To those of you tuned in, well, you're getting to see it for the first time too.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty even though. Already looking much better than the Olympia play. Yberrie not being able to run all over RMD's play, and RMD just playing very, very solidly here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems Yberrie doesn't really have the same concrete idea of how to play this matchup, how to really look for your win condition, what options are good, what options are bad. Meanwhile, RMD just gonna continue to rack up damage, continue to rack up as much momentum as possible. Going to, once again, with the down B, just keep yourself in a solid position, denying Ori any of that usage of Sign.
I actually think this is going to be really interesting as well in terms of a matchup perspective, because in Australia we really don't have that many Clarens. We've had them in the past, but none of too prominent. The only one as of recent is actually Superdot, who plays super differently to here, so I believe Yberrie will be going through a bit of a matchup shock right now.
Yeah, maybe, but either way, Yberrie going to be able to trade with that down strong. The F strong for Ori going to be a very, very solid tool in this matchup. As long as you can nab Claren in the middle of hits 1 and hits 2 of the up B. A large part of it really just depends on, can you get the Claren off stage? Can you edge guard the Claren? You can't edge guard the Claren. This turns into a very difficult matchup, but Ori as a character can definitely do it. It's a question of, does Yberrie have the knowledge?
Well, we're about to find out sooner or later, because Yberrie using the up air strings to carry RMD to the other side of the stage, not quite finding anything off of it, but just shows Yberrie is able to send RMD to what still might be a different character, but is able to juggle just as usual. Maybe a B miss input coming out, RMD being able to punish off of it, and DIing beautifully there to avoid the up smash from Yberrie.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to note from RMD is that he's just going with a lot of tempo 0 defensive options, and Yberrie has to be very, very careful here. Has to note that, has to understand exactly what it is your opponent is watching for. You know, running up, going for these parries, going for these down Bs, but one parry in response from Yberrie going to be able to even up the stock count. Final stock for RMD, potentially. You know, you have to be very, very careful here.
And keeping in mind, this is potentially RMD's tournament run on the line. Is RMD going to be able to crawl something back? Or is Yberrie going to find something here and now with the no fun zone in the center of the stage, making life potentially a little bit hard for any sign play? RMD not quite finding a massive neutral lead just yet, but we're starting to see the start of something right now.
Yeah, but either way, still looking for up tilt, looking for down tilt, just looking for some kind of combo opening for RMD here. Up strong, not going to be able to connect just yet. Still looking for it all. Yberrie in a rough position.
Finding the bash. And livable, RMD still alive. Yberrie going far off stage to try and find the kill, but 125%. The up B, not quite
gonna do it just yet.
But
oh!
Strong will.
All right, and just like that, RMD's first time Claren doing a considerably better job than the Olympia. This might have been the secret tech that RMD has been holding back.
I mean, if you're Yberrie right now, this might be a little bit of a fearful situation as well, because you're just thinking, I'm one game away. But how strong is this Claren really gonna be? I mean, let's find out.
Yeah.
Why wait? We're going to go straight into Frozen Fortress, game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you can see that Yberrie's been going for a lot of these side Bs in neutral, which I think, honestly, is a little bit of a mistake towards RMD's Claren, because, you know, RMD's looking for opportunities to set up the down B, to really deny Yberrie's sign usage, instead, you know, opting to make things uncomfortable for Yberrie rather than being a more comfortable pick for RMD.
I mean, yeah, but with so much space as well, Yberrie also has a few more options. I wonder how they're going to be able to play around that. 110%. It seems to be working a little bit better than it did on Reskin, Rockwell, and CEO Ring. Up air, not quite finding its mark. Once again proving it really is not a kill move, but the parry on the up B will find it.
Yeah, I mean, either way, Yberrie just needs to continue to take RMD off the side of the stage, needs to continue with these ledge traps, with these edge guards, but RMD right now has another lease at life, another chance to even up the stock count. Not gonna be able to do it just yet. Not gonna be able to land the parry, but another down B into up strong from RMD, going to be able to seal out that stock. This is something that's been consistent from RMD, and beautiful read on the tech, on the parry, and right now it's already evened right back up.
I think we just saw 3 reads in one combo, kind of showing how much RMD is learning already from the set. I mean, especially to stay in this, you gotta learn quick. I don't know what Yberrie's answer is gonna be, but 110%, there might be something very, very soon. The setup, no bash coming up, but going for the up air instead, and going with the forward strong just a little bit too early to find something. But the bash will catch. All
right, and beautiful bash coming out from Yberrie, going to be able to get another stock lead, but how long can he hold on to it? RMD right now with a side B out of disadvantage is continually punishing Yberrie for overstepping half a step too far with these down Bs, with these side Bs. Right now, RMD looking for an in, looking for an opportunity.
RMD utilizing Claren's spatial control super well. Be able to deny, as you said, RMD, a lot of common approaches for Yberrie, and RMD just might be what they need to stay in this. Although at 82%, it's starting to look like a bit of a struggle off stage as well. Not where you really want to be as a Claren, but is able to find his way back, but already sent straight back off again.
All right, and barely manages to land that tipper up B, and Yberrie in a little bit of trouble. You know, you're getting Claren off stage, you're going to be able to continue to keep RMD in disadvantage, but can you fully, you know, seal out this stock just yet? It's a question right now, as RMD's taking Yberrie closer and closer to that kill percent.
126%. Any small setup will be enough.
Oh my god!
The catch with the nair up smash tipper at 97%. Beautifully done by RMD to bring that back out of really nowhere. There was no real indication that that was gonna kill, but RMD made it work to stay in this, to say, hey, I deserve a spot of where I am. I'm not going down without a fight.
Yeah, and then Yberrie understanding, hey, you know what? That was a solid conversion at the end, but I had so much control throughout that game. We have to go back. Back to Frozen Fortress, back to the start of the game, and back to Ori Claren, but not back to the same skin, as RMD going to be opting for a different skin this time around, just going to be playing on the hero Claren. That Super Dot just so unfortunately still lacks to this day.
I find that so unfortunate. Our one Claren main does not have the skin. But, you know, I mean, it's RMD though. It's the skin swap is iconic. You go from one colored Olympic to the next, and suddenly it's a different matchup.
True, but, you know, either way, you know, RMD now going to be in a little bit of trouble in comparison to the last game, not opting for those parries, not opting for those down Bs that we saw so effective in the last game. This time around, just going to be throwing out a lot of moves that don't really seem to connect.
I mean, Yberrie being able to find the forward strong there will take the first stock, and suddenly it's starting to look like Frozen Fortress might be the good pick. There's still a good way to go of this match, but Yberrie is already looking so dominant in comparison to last game.
Yeah, but we've seen this before. You know, RMD has been able to bring us back from the brink. You know, in game number 1, almost made a 3-stock comeback, so this is still definitely doable. But RMD's Claren, I haven't really seen so much of that comeback factor in comparison to that Olympia.
Just maybe the experience isn't quite there, but Yberrie DIing very nicely to avoid the up smash, which would have certainly been a kill. Now forcing RMD to look at another stock take, and Yberrie with another lease on life might be able to use that very effectively at 130%. Yberrie is pushing RMD so far off stage and might
has resources.
Oh, not quite 150%. RMD still is holding on. Yberrie looking for something as soon as they possibly can.
Oh, that's a huge down tilt, going to be able to send Yberrie off stage. The questions, can you lead into a kill? There it is with the side B. RMD finally back in control, but not for very long, as Yberrie going to be able to get the stock lead once again. And RMD right now crucially needs an opening, needs a combo started, and here we go. Yberrie off stage. Can RMD keep this Ori from touching solid ground? No, he cannot.
Yberrie sort of dancing with the parachute there a little bit, but able to catch RMD off guard, not being able to land a hit strong enough to keep the rat off stage, and Yberrie will take that, say thank you very much, and already build up 75% on RMD's final stock. This could be either one of the greatest comebacks we see of the night, or game and match.
Yeah, very much could be, as RMD right now in a lot of trouble, just barely too high for that sign charge into Bash. So right now, Yberrie just opting for a lot of kill options. You know, a lot of neutral control. The Nair Bash gonna be able to land despite it being at such a high percent. Yberrie, once again, going to be looking to make it back towards Grands, but you gotta get through losers finals first.